I am with Tom and Casey, and the last name again is
Kilgore.
Kilgore. And so we're standing outside Valdese Hospital. Tell me about this mural that you've done here, and how did you even get involved in this project?
We were contacted by Tim Smith and Debbie
Debbie Dale.
Dale. Thank you. I always want to say Hall. And they knew that this wall was being viewed from the physical therapy room and from the little deli that's above. And it was a dull concrete gray wall. It was not very warm, and it was certainly not conducive to therapy. So they contacted us, and we submitted sketches to scale, and we submitted 3 different ideas, and obviously this wall lent itself to something really big. So we decided to do the waterfall look to incorporate the outdoors that are so beautiful around North Carolina.
Well, and one of the things that Debbie and Tim wanted after we submitted drawings was something local, and are either appealing to the local area, like a landscape here. So you have waterfalls, you have trees, you have the lake and everything. So that was something that they approved, and that's how it all got started. And of course the drawings were rough sketches.
So I'm going to step back. I'm going to step back as you talk. So describe what we're seeing here. Yeah.
Well,
the inspiration behind it, I guess.
Well, I guess as an artist, when you look at the wall and figure out, when you look how this thing comes down, starts at about 17 feet high and comes down to about 3 feet, I think both of us thought that we just saw waterfalls initially, and so we started with the one end coming down as a waterfall with rocks like you might see in South Mountain, that you might see in Catawba Falls, some of the local areas around here. And the waterfall comes down into really more of a stream, and then you have the bears, the beavers, the deer, as you walk along the mural.
It's very unique to see a mural extend onto the floor. Whose idea was that?
I always have the bright ideas and then say, we can do that, can't you, honey? So that was kind of how that came about. We wanted to, because what's the primary thing is being seen from above, and the windows behind us go all the way to the floor. So we knew that if you stopped it right here, it would look like a mural, instead of what we wanted it to do was to look like a scene that could be there.
And actually today it's rained a little bit, so we actually have a 3-dimensional water here. But it ended up being a really neat idea, because it does add a dimension to the mural, that instead of just being the flat wall, it really comes out, and it was able to, some of the development of these things as we go along, you have a basic idea, and as you start putting things in, like you put the background in first, you put the darker colors in first, and then it starts evolving. Like the original drawing had a waterfall. You can see now we have 3 waterfall areas. We have more animals, trees. We never had a beaver dam here before, as you can see as it comes down off the floor. We had the idea of the beaver, but then Casey wanted to have some kind of pool where you could have the water over rocks, and to be able to have the pool, you have to dam it up. So we did. So I spent, under instructions, I spent a day building a dam.
Okay, how long did it take for this to paint all this?
It took us a little over 3 weeks, because we could only work from like 6:30 in the morning until noon, because when the sun got on here, it was just like an oven. So our paints would dry too quickly, and we were drying out pretty quickly too.
So this is a mythical place. No, there's no. We can see Hawksbill and Table Rock over here on this side.
Yes.
But this doesn't exist it exists in your mind, right?
Well, it also, like, people have looked, and that is Lake James. Now that may or may not be Lake James, but art is in the eye of the beholder, so you can make that whatever body of water you want. But that is the lake that's prominent here. It could be another lake outside of Hickory, too. So yes, this is a compilation of a lot of different
Right.
things from the area and the wildlife in the area.
Casey, what did you have to do to prepare the surface for the paint, and what kind of paint did you use for this?
Well, it was the hospital did the underlay for us, and the paint we used was house paint, outdoor.
Just like exterior house paint.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard to mix that and make the
Yes.
colors? Is it?
Yes, very, because we were dealing with gallons.
Yeah.
And so when you wanted to do a rock, we would have 4 different colors of paint that we would mix. And so by the end of the day, we were covered with paint.
Oh, gee. It's starting to rain here, so we may be cut short, but this is a beautiful bit of work. Great job. So you mentioned 17 feet high, but how long is this wall, Tom? Did you measure?
About 70 feet.
70 feet.
Yes.
And it goes down onto the ground even,
Because these are 10-foot, if you look, they're approximately 10-foot sections as they step down.
And that made it simpler for us when we were doing the drawings, the sketches, because then we could really, without totally gridding it, we could grid it by the 10-foot sections. So that made it kind of
Yeah.
easy for us to follow a plan.
And a landscape is a little, you don't have to grid it as tightly or even grid it at all because it is a landscape. Now, if you were doing something like like downtown Valdese or something with buildings, you'd really have to grid it off a lot more than we did for something like this.
Casey, we looked at some of your art inside, and you paint animals typically. Did you paint the animals in this? Did you share those responsibilities, or did?
No, Tom can do them, but I can do them more quickly than he.
And better.
Well, you could, but anyway, we have certain strengths, and I think that's where the marriage of our two art interests happens with us, is that he can lay in the background and I labor. It doesn't come easily for me, but it does for him.
Where are you located?
We live in Morganton.
In Morganton. So, and do you have your own gallery or anything?
No, we have our studio in our home, but we're going to have an art exhibit the 1st of October at the Rock School.
Rock School. Do you have a website that people might want to go and see your art?
Thank you, we do.
The company name is CK Paints, and the website is www.ckpaints.com.
We'll certainly put that on the video.
Thank
and,
you.
And like I say, so for those that don't realize, this is a 360-degree video. If you've been watching it the whole time and haven't figured that out, I'm going to walk back one more time, and we're going to look at everything again, and you can spin around and look at whatever aspect of the painting you like as I go around here. Go slowly here. I love the beaver, the raccoons. You have a hawk in the sky, red-tailed hawk, right?
Yes.
That is very unique. I'm sure the people around here are going to love seeing this. Thank you very much for your time.